My name is Jennifer, and I am 29, and I've had diabetes for 22 years. Um, Diabetes is not easy. It rarely has been for me, and it's just a thing that I just take one day at a time I, because there are some days when my blood sugar will not come out of the 300s. Today it wouldn't come out of 200s, and I am admitting this on camera, knowing very well that my doctor might see it. I don't really care. I don't always wear my Dexcom thing because sometimes I just get tired of carrying so many gadgets and all of them beeping at me at once. I have my pump beeping at me sometimes. It went off in a meeting one time. That was the most embarrassing thing because the lady was like, "I'm going to need you to silence your phone, ma'am." Yeah, very embarrassing. And I usually wear mine in my bra. I know, TMI. And like, to have your chest just start beeping all of a sudden is not exactly professional. I also have, so a lot of times I'll leave my Dexcom, this thing, my Dexcom sensor at home, or just not wear it for a week, or 2, or 3, or a month. I always wear my pump. I've gotten used to that. I have a pink. It's okay. I like it because it's pink. Well, actually I like it because it makes managing my diabetes a lot easier. It's a lot better than having to draw the Lente and regular, or crashing before you go to bed and forgetting to take your Lantus at night. I've done that before and woken up and my blood sugar was high, but my blood sugar was always high in the morning. In fact, now that I think about it, my blood sugar has been more out of control in my life than it has been in control. I've only gotten it even close to being in control in the last year. And it was good when I was a little kid too, but as a teenager it was just ridiculous. It was all over the place. My blood sugars spiked, they fell, and it was almost as if it were just at random, and there was nothing I could do about it. It was all hormonal. And I remember my doctors just getting so angry with me because my blood sugars were just all over the place. And after a while, I just got tired of it, and I stopped checking my blood sugars. Very bad idea, by the way. I just stopped checking. I'm like, I'm not dealing with this crap right now. I can't. I don't want to. I don't want any parts of it. I'm not checking my blood sugar. Consequences? I don't know. Really weren't. Well, I felt crappy a lot, but yeah, the blood sugars just make me feel so guilty. And my dad died in March. He died of, well, he had a heart attack, and he was type 2 diabetic. And we used to talk about diabetes to each other all the time. And I think that he felt guilty for his high blood sugars. He never really discussed his diabetes with his wife, which I understood because I know she meant well, but she was type 2 diabetic and her blood sugars were always in control. And he was pretty much in the same boat with me, whereas our diabetes was not perfect. So yeah, I miss that. But I guess now I have the DOC. That's kind of nice. diabetes online community. So that's nice. Yeah, diabetes hasn't always been easy for me. It's easier now than it has been in the past. Um, but that's okay, because the difficulties have made me a lot stronger than a lot of people around me that I know. And I know, and maybe that sounds a little cocky, but it's true. I know where my limits are, because I've surpassed all of them and I've seen the consequences. I wasn't sure when I signed up to go to grad school if it was going to be a good idea. I'm still not sure if it was a good idea. But that's another video or tweet or something. I wasn't sure that it was a good idea because I knew I was going to have to do it without insurance. And for anyone who's ever lived with type 1 diabetes or type 2 diabetes or LADA or anything related without insurance, you know that that could be a death sentence. And for me, it almost was. I came down with the flu while I was in grad school, just before I was ready to graduate. And I was in the hospital. I ended up having to go to the hospital because it turned into diabetic ketoacidosis. Oh, that was the worst. My whole body felt as if it were on fire. I remember not being able to see. Everything just whited out. It was really weird. And my father actually drove all the way from from Richmond to Norfolk, which is about 2 hours, to take me to the hospital. I couldn't even put on my own shoes and socks. He had to help me get dressed, and we drove to the hospital, and I laid down in the middle of the emergency room and screamed as loud as I could because I was in so much pain. And the nurse came over and told me to shut up because I was disturbing the other patients. Yeah. That was a very rough time for me being in the hospital. I was in there for 4 days, and I was uninsured, so they did every test that they could on me. And I came out of grad school. I didn't pay anything for grad school. I was there on fellowship, I guess that's what they call it. But I owed the hospital $20,000. 4 days. My entire education cost less than $20,000. I guess I got off cheap, but still, $20,000. And I had to deal with creditors calling me for their money, as far as the hospital creditors. The hospital advocate, I personally think that she is no advocate at all. She told the hospital that I could use my tuition money to pay for whatever, but I never even saw my tuition money. It went directly to the school. So it was a very, very hard experience. And then, like, right after I graduated from grad school, I got a job with the patent office. And just before my first day of work, I left my insulin at home. I was still rationing insulin because I didn't have insurance. So I left my insulin at home by accident because I was buying it on the black market. I know I'm very, very, very bad diabetic. And I came down with diabetic ketoacidosis again. And I was uninsured. Same situation. Owed $20 more thousand dollars. So by this time I was $40,000 in debt. So, but I guess I could have been dead. So I guess it's not the worst thing that could have happened. But I felt guilty not only for having such high blood sugars, but also for being in so much debt in such a small period of time. And yeah, basically it made me have to take the first job that came along, which sucks, by the way. The job I have now is okay, but sometimes I wish it were a little bit more fun, I guess. Not even fun, but I wish it felt a little bit more purposeful. But, I mean, I love the people that I work with. They're great. Very understanding people. The nicest people I've ever worked with in my whole life. And I've had, I think, I've had about 15 jobs. Well, anyway, I don't want us to turn into a memoir, a huge thing, and I'm pretty sure that you guys will probably get tired of watching these You Can Do It videos. So I'm gonna sign off, and I guess I should say something positive about diabetes. It's very difficult, but just take it one day at a time, and nobody does it perfect. In fact, I really haven't met anyone type 1 well, I've met a bunch of type 2s. Well, my blood sugars when I wake up in the morning are like 112. How come yours is 150? Yeah, I hate those people. Anyway, I'm signing off. And you can follow me on Twitter if you want at DATANGEL82. The tweets are pretty boring, but welcome to follow me. Sometimes I say poignant stuff. Alright, bye.